And good evening, everybody. This is obviously your guy, Light Liger here, aka the Crypto Enthusiast. And today we are going to be looking at some altcoin news for October and also exploring some low cap gems out there, which you definitely should take a look at. But starting off with the markets, currently we are minus 0.18%. Bitcoin is kind of on the red. I mean, most of the top 20 is on the red, but not too massively, I would say so. I think this trajectory is going to be continuing till the end of the month. Hashtag not financial advice. That's just my hunch, so to speak. I think we're going to be seeing some crazy movements once the Bitcoin Cash hard fork is going to be taking place in 15th of November. That is going to be big event for miners, for example. So let's see how is that going to be affecting the markets. But let's talk about the news items for the month. So first of all, today actually the Monero hard fork actually went live, and I was actually positively surprised that it would have such an impact. So according to the article and other outlets, that the Monero is now reducing the size of the transactions by 25% and improving the typical verification performance by 10%, aka making Monero 10% faster from what it currently is or was, because the hard fork has already taken place. And the 25% obviously means that we're going to be seeing, I guess, a bit smaller block sizes, and I guess when you load out the full wallet and load it into your computer, it's probably going to be taking a bit less time to download all the blocks because they now are able to contain more information. And this is very big for Monero. It wasn't really faced by the Australian ban, which took place, I believe, last month, but it has been and will be banned by many centralized exchanges. Now they are also gathering funding for the atomic swaps. As is mentioned here, they have now gotten the money for it, for the development, which was $300,000. And that is probably going to be taking place at some point later on. I don't know when that is going to be launching, but it's going to be crucial for people to interact with their Monero and switching it to other chains, and thus circumventing the possible KYC banning or, a centralized exchange banning on it. Our next news item is about OKEx, which has suspended the withdrawals. I personally have an account there, but I haven't really used this exchange. I think, they are part of a Chinese investigation right now, and that is the reason why there has been a lot of withdrawals being withholded. I believe you can still trade on the platform, but obviously it shows another flaw in the centralized system. We already had KuCoin and BitMEX happening earlier this month, which has, given a boost for DeFi. It almost feels like a false flag attack in some aspects, that there's just so many reasons to now jump into DeFi because there's been so many problems on these centralized exchanges as of right now. And I think OKEx is going to be recovering. Their token is right now minus 30%. Something that I talked about in the past is that during the bear markets, usually the exchange tokens tend to perform really well. So if you're going to be believing a bear market is going to be coming, maybe you want to consider picking out that OKEx token, because it might go quite a lot up in price during the bear market. Also, another big blockchain has finally launched, and that is Filecoin, which is basically a decentralized storage network using the IPFS technology, and you can set up your own computer to basically mine Filecoin for you by just having, you don't need a actual super hard drives. You don't need super GPUs or CPUs. It's all about the disk space. However, it's a 1 terabyte minimum. So the actual entry of threshold is kind of large for my taste, but I'm still very interested on the idea of the proof of capacity system in general. I see a lot of potential in it. And I also see it being a more fairer model than proof of work and potentially even proof of stake. But the problem is that what is the actual entry, because anybody can buy one of those USB miners or mine with their browser. If you're going to be required to have 1 terabyte of space in your computer, and there was also 32 gigabytes of RAM requirement, it does require a bit of capital in order to participate on the things. But Filecoin is definitely going to be a big player. It's been kind of declining in price, obviously, because it's the boom of it hitting the markets, but we're going to be seeing how it will turn out. Next up, we have Zilliqa staking, which went live on October 14th. In case you missed out, I already had a staking guide on my channel. This was also, in my opinion, a very big update on the Zilliqa ecosystem, and it's probably going to be increasing more people coming into the blockchain and starting to create dApps, among other things. And here we can see the actual circulated staking amounts. But this is also a very big milestone for the Zilliqa team. And the last bit of news is IDEX launching their 2.0 DEX on October 20th. That is in 3 days. And this will basically contain a layer 2 solution. So you're going to be expecting very, very fast transactions, very cheap transactions. And you can read the whole rundown of the IDEX 2.0 on their Medium in case you're interested. But this will be the second major, technically the first major DEX to transition into layer 2. And IDEX has been like top 5 DEX before and prior. I never liked IDEX 1.0. I didn't really like it. They had a lot of gatekeeping systems, and getting your token listed there is not exactly easy, but there are people who like their ecosystem, and it will be great for those customers to witness and enjoy a lower fee transactions and faster transactions. And now we're going to be jumping into the low cap gems. We're going to be starting with the Coinbase blog. I did talk about this on a prior video. So the way the Coinbase works is, first they introduce a list of coins and tokens which they might add, and historically they might not add anything from the lists that they have given. And from those lists, they first go to Coinbase custody, then they go to Coinbase Bro, and then Pro, not Bro, and then lastly they go to Coinbase. And this is a way of 3 cycles of bumps for those tokens who eventually made it into the very last one. So I luckily own 13 of these, 30, 40 different coins that they have listed here. Some of them I have no idea what they are, such as Altcoin, Audius, Barnbridge. Never heard about those. But there are a lot of familiar faces. So we have the Tron ecosystem here, BitTorrent token, Tron, Just Stablecoin, Sun token is also considered. We have Scale, Meta, and Unstable, which I just talked about. Very bullish about those two. And then there's Conflux Network, obviously, and Terra here, WeChain also. So, and Wink, well, I don't really want that one there, but and Wing, which is on Ontology. So there are, and Wrap Bitcoin might be also another one that they are looking at. So these are potential investments which could go up because they are listed here, and there's always going to be price bumps when something get added into any of the Coinbase platforms. So in terms of my low cap gems, anything on this list I would probably buy. I think a lot of them have a lot of potential. Amplefort is something that I recently sold out on, though. That's something I wouldn't buy, though. And BitTorrent token is not something that I expect to go up in price much unless it eventually gets into the Coinbase and, there. But that would be the only way that it would increase in value. Right now, I just don't see the inherent value. And Paxos Standard is obviously a stable coin, so not a great investment. Buy Paxos called instead. But let's move into my 5 picks. And it was hard to actually pick the 5 ones for this month. I was kind of struggling because I already featured a lot of coins earlier on my DeFi picks video and on other videos that I did this month. So I already given out a lot of good picks already. So I decided to feature 5 or technically 4, which I haven't talked about before. And New Cipher is basically a privacy infrastructure for blockchain. And this was, by the way, on this list, which is one of the reasons why I'm planning to probably get some. And they also have a staking now live, and they are basically, it's a very tech heavy related stuff, and I don't even myself understand fully what they are building, but a lot of privacy based things, which is obviously important, and I think privacy elements are going to be playing a part in next year, because initially I thought that 21 would be about NFTs and layer 2, but those are already coming out now. So the blockchain movement is moving a lot more faster than anticipated. So the next year is going to have some type of a privacy phase and interoperability. The blockchain is able to interact with each other. And this one is a bit of a wild card, but as I said, it's on that Coinbase list, and there is kind of like a lack of very like a high-end privacy-based applications, and there are a lot of privacy coins, but something that works with DeFi and other things, not so much. But this is something that I'm looking forward to. Next up, we have probably the one that is biggest on this list, and that is Bridge. And it's the first Oracle system in Tron. And people who are, I have a lot of new subscribers in this space, and they don't know all of these terminologies. So I'm going to be explaining what is an Oracle. So Oracle, like Chainlink and Band Protocol, is basically a database. So imagine this bridge is the Oracle, and the world here represents information that is coming from the world. Let's say the price of coffee taken from the stock exchange, or the time that is currently on right now, or the weather. So it's basically a form of API that goes into the Oracle, and that Oracle relays that information into the blockchain. So it's basically filtering real-world data into the blockchain, which are not able to access that real-world data, as this is mentioned here. So the blockchain is not able to know what time of the day it is. It's not able to read the Forex markets or something like that. And the Oracle is there to filter out that data into the blockchain, basically. And Tron has no oracles as right now. Chainlink and Band are already established. Bridge is very undervalued right now, and that's why I'm really bullish on it, because Tron is a big blockchain, like it or not, and this is going to be big because there's no Oracle player in Tron, and no Tron project is currently using any type of Oracle platform. So this is something that you can pick up on Just Swap right now. I have picked out, and I actually have them on the pools right now. But this is something that I'm bullish on. If you're a Tron player, you have a lot of Tron, this is why number one of those good investments I would do on Tron. Then we have Venus, which is basically a decentralized marketplace for lenders and borrowers on Binance Smart Chain. And this is going to be a key player in the Binance Smart Chain. I guess it's going to be kind of like the equivalent of the MakerDAO in Ethereum. And it's right now mineable on Binance by staking your Binance coins or BUSD. And you can get APY on a lot of tokens under this ecosystem. I definitely will be making videos once it actually launches. Binance Smart Chain, I'm kind of torn between it right now. I mean, obviously it's cheaper than Ethereum right now, but I'm kind of arguing that it's not cheaper enough. So it's not cheap as Matic or, for example, XDAI, which is the problem. One smart contract transaction on the actual trades and etc. are costing around 3 to 4 cents. I think everything should be sub 1 cent. And I don't know how they're going to be fixing that, because it seems to be a fork on Ethereum. But this is definitely something that has a lot of potential. Obviously, because this is the minting thing that is going on right now, it's hard to say it's going to be decreasing in price or something, but I would argue it's going to be a big part of the Binance Smart Chain regardless. Then we have Moonswap. I already did the original video about it, and reason why I decided to feature them is because I do believe that it's currently undervalued, because they just also announced their first NFT sale for C-Moon, and this is called the Confi. It looks pretty professional and well done. The first sales actually happened on today, and actually already passed. Sorry about that. It already took place earlier today. And I think in general, I think this chain is very under the radar, despite being basically the first AMM DEX in the space. Conflux Network, which is the co-creator of Moonswap, also was listed here on Coinbase. So it's another coin or token you might want to get into your portfolio. And I do believe this is going to places. Right now, it needs to market itself. BitBoy has talked about it, I think a couple of other people. And NFT farming might be the next thing that they are pulling out. And it's a much more better experience compared to Matic, for example. And I've just been enjoying the zero gas fees. And then as a last project, we have Moonbeam. And I do want to say in general, I am really bullish on a lot of the Polkadot chain projects. There are a lot of things listed here. So go to polkaproject.com and you can find a lot of things from here which are in the making. And a lot of these are potential investments. Some of them I have already invested in and bought. And I'm looking to make videos about many of them in the future. So looking forward to that, and it's one of those chains that I'm really excited about. And Moonbeam is basically their Ethereum compatible smart contract platform, and which is able to build natively interoperable applications. And then there's obviously the UFI Moonbeam, UFBeam. These are, by the way, all fucking scams. Just so you know, they don't actually have no idea of Polkadot or anything like that. So definitely make sure you're playing the right Moonbeam when you're going to be doing that. None of the other fake ones. They also have an Algorand bridge, which is another token that I'm holding. So it's going to be one of the bigger things. When this is going to be launching is still up in the air. They're going to be having their own token, which is called Glimmer. And that's the one you're going to be wanting to acquire, because that's the one that is going to be used on the smart contract executions, data storage, paying all the fees, and cross-chain messaging. And a testnet launch is going to be on, well, should have already started, and the Kusama CanaryNet test is going to be coming out Q4, so now or very, very soon. And that is pretty much my rundown of all of these projects for today. I'm not going to make this video any longer. And if you want to support me, here's some donation addresses. As always, donations are optional. In case you want to work with me on a full capacity, you can send me sponsorship emails at lightliker@protonmail.com. I will see you guys on the next video. Cheers.